What is going on, everybody? In this video, we're providing the state of the market and stock picks for November 10th, 2022. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, consider subscribing, as we do provide daily and weekly updates to get you prepared for the day and the week ahead in this glorious market. Now, something I did not talk about yesterday, FTX is in a bit of trouble. Much like the banking system that we currently have, they're over leveraged, and now things are starting to give way. Luckily, the Bank of England and China, that has not happened yet, although I think they're on the verge of that happening as well. But nonetheless, FTX is the main story that's been going on. It's been actually wreaking havoc in the crypto world right now, as FTX essentially bought up a lot of different exchanges that were going belly up. And today, Binance stepped forward and tried to buy them up, only to start looking at finances of FTX and decided to back out last minute. Apparently, I believe there is a Sol as well that is supposed to come off the books or be released here tomorrow overnight or some session like that. I don't remember how much exactly it was, but it was a significant amount, enough that it's going to make a big impact on the crypto market here in the next 24 hours. Understand that crypto has been solid around 20. Now it's broken below 20. You're driving that fear in a crypto that wasn't there. So now you got finally a 15K crypto. I don't think crypto is going anywhere. I think crypto is the future. As far as the currency and the technology behind it and what it could do for gaming and a lot of other these old, outdated file record systems that are out there, and what it could do for that, and keep that transparency. But a lot of these other ones, again, Sol was never. Let's be honest, Sol was never a great chain. It's always going down anyway. Just really looking for an excuse. But that being said, the current state that we're in, you have to understand that this is what the normalization of the market needs. We were at a peak just a couple months ago, pretty much almost a year at this point. We are coming into a new year. And we were trying to make all-time highs only to sell off, be making an all-time high and stay in there maybe roughly a couple hours, and then we just sell back off to a newer low, or we wouldn't hold an all-time high very long. Now we're starting to see that to the downside, but the problem is now you have this FTX issue that is just wreaking. So the one asset, you have to understand this year, people weren't buying gold. People expected gold to really make a huge run, but in turn, what it was Bitcoin had a massive rip. And now people, I think, are buying more Bitcoin as a hedge as opposed to gold. But now you're starting to wreak that fear back into the market that maybe crypto may not be the best thing. Maybe it's not a good hedge against as opposed to the old standard, which was gold. But the problem is that you still have a lot of believers, and the problem is that you have people that were iffy about crypto. Now this is going to push or delay whatever people were thinking about crypto. I don't think it will push it or delay it that much. But again, you have to understand the sentiment of this current market cycle that we're in is to get rid of the junk and normalize stuff. It's needed. These cycles happen all the time. They are needed, so that way we can continue to push back up. But being said, the timing of this is not great, because tomorrow we have the core CPI. And we're gauged for, they're estimated at an 8, coming in at 8 tomorrow. Now, this report comes out at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time. You have to understand, I believe if we don't drop below 8, we're going to be in trouble. The market's going to suspect trouble, and we will, if we come below 8, we could potentially rally. But now with the FTX thing, it's making me second guess even a rally. But because the FTX stuff is new bad news, which is not good, because what was becoming our new hedge against fear is now you're putting fear back into it. So now you're deterring people to run back to potentially gold again, which is not a good sign. So with that being said, Core tomorrow, if it comes in at anything over an 8, the market's going to panic. If it comes over 9.1, you're going to see new lows and potentially start hitting that 10% further down, 15% further down from where we're currently at, just because of the setup with FTX. FTX has introduced a new dynamic to this market. Again, we had a hedge. People were believing in crypto, and now you're taking it away. So you've pulled a safe haven essentially away. Not that it's not there, not that I don't believe in it, but as long as you put doubt in an asset like that, as one of the what was becoming a very strong hedge, now you're putting doubt in it. People are going to sell out because this isn't the first time this has happened, especially with Luna. You had over leveraging going on there, and then everything just folded because nothing recovered. They were expecting these things to just keep going up, and you're over leveraged and then can't pay your debts. Everything crumbles down to the floor. So that's exactly what's happening. So tomorrow is simple. We have to see what's going on with Core. You have to realize FTX has a major weight, and we have to see how long this is going to last. More things will start unfolding, right? We got a bunch of other money that's our soul that's coming off, that's being unlocked. We're looking for liquidity. So that's going to be a huge issue tomorrow too. Soul could potentially go to zero tomorrow. And what is that going to do to the crypto markets? What is it going to do to the remaining of the markets? And so we have to really see, again, where that core is. If that core isn't below 8, we're going to have even more problems added to it. So this thing is leading to something worse. Something that we've been waiting for was a black swan event, and we're getting that with the FTX stuff, just because we thought they were good because they were buying all these exchanges that couldn't keep up, and then now only to find out that they can't either. So with all that being said, and then Binance backing down, so the Binance deal would have came through, maybe we would have been talking about something else. But as of right now, we are in some. So those are our topics for tonight and for tomorrow. And ultimately, it depends on Core. Even if Core comes in slightly as expected, again, the FTX thing is a new thing, new bad news that is not great at all. You also had the Fed coming out saying our financial system is not great. That's good to find that the Fed realized that. So nonetheless, tomorrow, what's going to be important is levels tomorrow. We have the 200 EMA essentially sitting around the 36.78. I wouldn't be surprised if we actually gap down to this tonight. Or we might even hold here at the 37.52 till tomorrow. Then we'll get the core and then we gap down. But to be honest, with the FTX stuff, I wouldn't be surprised if we're actually gap down here in the morning. And then looking for that 3600, especially if we start getting, depending on how bad that core is, we could potentially see 3600 fairly easily tomorrow. And then again, if we get anything over, I think a 8.4, we'll probably retest new lows at that point. Again, anything below this level here, roughly around that 35.83, roughly around that 1600. If we don't see a lot of heavily buying beneath this 1600, is my concern that we're going to go for a lot lower. So if we do see 1600 tomorrow, 3600 tomorrow, I'm definitely looking to see what the price action is around there and see if there's a lot of buying. If not, that's a cause for concern. And so that's what I'm really watching tomorrow. Again, the report could be good and we might be able to pop up a little bit. But again, the FTX stuff is new and bad. And again, you're taking away a safe haven. A lot of people were really seeing as a good hedge against what was currently going on with inflation and everything else. Now, again, you're bringing doubts, and when you bring doubts, people will start pulling money, and that's what we're seeing. And so, again, we have to see what goes on tomorrow and where we land. But again, that core is at 8:30 Eastern Standard Time, so we'll see that. The dollar, I thought the dollar was actually coming down good. It's popping back up. This could be a retest. If this thing is back over again, 111, this thing is going to start ripping again, and it will make a new high. Floating around here, I think is just waiting for that core. That core took too long, and so I think that's why we broke down. The FTX stuff again did not help, so we'll see. We'll see how this plays out, but the dollar is still very high. We want it to come down if we want any kind of rally, and tomorrow may not be that day. Tomorrow, this thing might run, go screaming up. So we definitely have to keep an eye on the dollar and see what's going into tomorrow from that point. Bitcoin absolutely obliterated off the FTX news, down the 15s right now. Bear flag again. I wouldn't be surprised. The 12 is essentially that next level, 12 to 10. See if it holds there. If not, it breaks down below there. I'll be buying Bitcoin. Not financial advice, but I'll be buying Bitcoin once it gets back under 10. I believe if this thing starts to get some cascading momentum to the downside, we could get some really, really heavy selling. Again, it's something I've been waiting for, been talking about it. It seems like forever, and it's kept being repetitive because I was waiting for this Black Swan event to happen, and for this Black Swan event to happen finally, and something I wasn't even looking for happen and affecting a safe haven, a new safe haven, a new asset class that people were liking, and now you're potentially striking fear, and again is not helping at all. So we'll definitely have to see how that does play out. Tesla, Elon apparently has not done selling either. He's still selling shares. So this thing is completely just been getting absolutely wrecked. I was looking at some higher time frames here, but we are making a newer low on the weekly because we did break that huge level. The next big level we got is roughly around the 156. Then roughly around the 123. We got some big gaps here, so just be mindful of that. So Tesla could come down quite a bit. So it'd be interesting to see if we see $100 Tesla, but again, it's stock split, so you have to remember that. But not only that, but there's a lot of momentum to the downside right now, and bad news is not good, especially in this market. What I'm talking about, the timing is playing out, and we could potentially correct another 10% more from here. Again, depending on what happens in that core, could feel this thing a lot, and we could get a huge drop if that core is not good tomorrow. So just keep that in mind. So Tesla, I want to keep a watch. I'm really not looking at this thing until it comes down to 156 at this point. I was in this position earlier today and got tagged out. I was thinking potentially it could run back up, but absolutely no fuel, and the FTX stuff just absolutely took over and just obliterated everything today. So nothing really had a chance today, to be honest. Aside if you're in value, BA did hold. People are putting their money in value and think that value is going to take this thing home, but inflation affects everything all the same. So, and there's been a lot of buybacks in BA. So, and a massive rotating circulation of money between BA and the government. So nonetheless, we'll see what happens here. But this thing needs to at least correct down a half, and at least half is 141. So I expect this to start selling off tomorrow along with everything else. Don't expect anything different from that. JPM, again, another interesting play here. I had ascending wedge. Looks like we could potentially finally be breaking this. Again, I don't like this. This thing is it's been going absolutely parabolic. Absolutely no pullbacks. I think this thing is going to flush really heavy, at least down to the 116 from 129. So that's a big move for a stock like this. And even just a 50% retracement is big, but I think this thing could even see 63. So you're looking more like around the 110, 109 mark for JPM. And then again, interest rates and everything are great for the bank, but these moves, you definitely don't want these parabolic moves where we hardly do any touchbacks and retest what was old resistance, which is now new support. It doesn't build well for your bull case because this thing will just elevate her back down 50% when the time happens, and you're getting ready to see that with the banks. The banks have been kind of really overextended. Absolutely, again, this is not something you want to be seeing. You want to see pullbacks. It builds, again, a stronger frame for a longer bull run, and that's not at all what's happening here. So all that being said, I don't want to make this video too long. There's a lot going on. I know you've probably heard a lot about what's going on with FTX, and I heard a lot about what's going on with Core tomorrow. So a big day tomorrow. We'll see how we open. I think we're going to see a gap down. Most definitely get some sort of pump and then a gap down tomorrow. We may not even get a pump. There's just the FTX stuff is really bad. And if the core feeds into it, it's just double barrel bad news going into the holidays, and one more core before the whole thesis on dialing back to a 50-point basis move is pretty much thrown out the window, which throws off all the Fed futures. And so the market's going to panic tomorrow if that happens. So if you made it this far, I do appreciate you. Go ahead and drop a like button. And until next time, I'll see you guys later.